Beyonce did the soundtrack for The Lion King, the newer version that Disney did in 2019. And the deluxe version of that album came out. It came out in 2019, but this is the deluxe version came out in 2020 with a couple of new songs and a music video that you can watch exclusively on Disney+. Music video is fine. People tend to generally like it. And the music from here that was like on the other Lion King before was perfectly fine. But I totally missed that last year there was a song called My Power featuring Tierra Whack and Beyonce and a bunch of others wild people. And I really like how it goes because it kind of
got hella Afro beats in it.
Yeah, it brings in the Lion King aspect of like African drums and things like that to layer it and the sound. And Tierra Whack is just like in rare form, just like hitting her stride right now. I'm only gonna nowhere to go up with for her.
100%.
But yeah, I think the project, we're not going to give it like a full review because we can only do so much in 1 week, and also it came out last year, so like it's there. But Beyonce is really consistent with her work. I'd argue she's one of the artists that even though she has like a rabid fan base, I'd say they're mostly fair in calling her like one of the best musicians of our time right now.
Yeah, I mean Lemonade was a great album. All of her albums pretty much have always been solid. Yeah, so I always like her music.
Yeah, and this is one of the this isn't in the realm of like the Black Panther soundtrack, a really good example of musicians coming on to do contemporary sounding soundtracks for movies that are coming out. I'm going to separate like contemporary sounding soundtracks with like classical.
With like...
Because those are like kind of different.
Those are very different. You know, from Johnny Greenwood to Kendrick Lamar is very different.
Yeah, they're different scores.
For different films.
Speaking of completely different, next single we did was My Future by Billie Eilish.
And goddamn, Billie Eilish is so good. Like, Jesus Christ, she's ridiculous. So here's one thing where so many people complain, like the one big complaint with Billie Eilish is that she does a lot of spoken word stuff or a lot of monotone themes within her music, but that's her style and the production around it is beautiful, really. But now with My Future, you can really start to hear her voice and how good of a voice she actually has. She layers it and does some other stuff with the production, and it's very, very, very well done.
Yeah,
I like it.
She has a really good range. The song instrumentally kind of starts very silent and really kind of boosting Billie Eilish's vocals.
Yes.
And then the instrumentals and the rest come in almost a minute and a half, 2 minutes into the song.
About halfway through.
And it kind of completes it. And honestly, I was so fine with the beginning extended intro of it. I would have been fine with that being the whole song. But in a typical like Billie Eilish form, the song comes together and not even pop it up because it's still like very much like dark
it's
pop.
Small, but, it's chill but it's good to hear her voice in a different range in that, and because there's a couple other like Nightmare and other songs that she's released, there are stuff where you can hear her voice in, but this is the first one where like it'll definitely silence critics in that regard.
Absolutely.
And man, she's so good.
Yeah, we are starting to break the Audioface rule because this is now the second single from Billie Eilish we've looked at. But like, we don't think she has an album super coming out soon. No, we'll probably hold off.
We'll probably hold off just in case, but she hasn't announced anything at all yet.
Yeah.
Really. So.
The first single that came out a couple months ago, I just wanted to like hear, okay, this is Billie Eilish post that first breakout album. Let's see how it is. And so that was interesting. And this is just indulgent because she's a really incredible artist. And the last one, this is a pretty Sean's music taste heavy episode, but I will just stick in my one thing here.
Your one thing, Chuk Chuk, yeah.
Yes, Chuk Chuk Chuk, Surprise Pikachu Face, 3 exclamation marks. That band, we talked about them last year, and they produced what I think was one of the better electronic
for sure. Them and Moon Boots made the two best EDM, like I call it EDM. That's just the genre technically. Albums of the year by far. 2019.
Yeah.
Big time.
And this year, Certified Heavy Cats is I'll call it a drop. It's technically an album, but it's 32 minutes.
It's an EP.
It's safely what Audioface created the term drop for.
Yeah.
And there's 7 songs on it. It's perfectly fine. One of my favorites is Take It Easy. It has almost like this Lowrider by War kind of vibe to it in the background, where it's slower, it's kind of chill, especially for like the fast-paced jumping up and down sort of like Chuk 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 previously you would know. Yes. This is a different style for them, a different sound. Definitely more laid back, definitely not like I would say it's a drop. It's not.
I would say more like tropical beats-ish compared to
but not like Kygo.
But not Kygo, not bullshit Kygo.
Yeah.
But it's more of that realm of them going into that, which is good because again, that's one thing with a lot of electronic artists is they can get stagnant very quickly with what they do. They tend to do one thing over and over again. But all the albums that so far I've listened to of Chuk Chuk Chuk, I have liked. They've also been around for a long time.
Extremely long time, yeah. Just hammering at it.
So they're good.